Welcome to Friday Fuel.
Yo. What's up, everybody? How are we doing?
What's up?
Colin, Donnie, Adam, how are we doing?
Doing good. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. I'm fired up. We're trying to right now, guys. I hope everyone has had a great Friday. We're trying to get our guest in here, Ashli. She may or may not be able to join, so we're kind of waiting on that. We had sent her the link, so. But yeah, we can kind of start off, guys, on this beautiful Friday. What's one takeaway we all had in our week coming up on Christmas? Did anybody kind of lax up, or did everyone kind of keep pushing and hit their goal? Colin, we'll start with you, bro. I know you've been a little sick too, bro, so you can kind of give your little story. You've been out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, as far as laxing up, as you guys can probably tell from my voice, I sound like I smoke 15 packs a day. So I've been fighting this freaking sickness for legit. I got sick the day after open enrollment ended. So it was a blessing in disguise. Absolutely. But yeah, literally since the 8th, I've been fighting this thing. And it just is kicking my trash so far.
That's tough.
I'm feeling better. Like I have a lot more energy, but like, as far as like my throat and like a cough and all that fun stuff, I've still got it, and it still isn't great. But I mean, I've still managed to sell a couple T65 cents. So I mean,
there we go.
It's been good. So
there we go. Cool. Donnie?
Yeah, so this was the first week before Christmas in I don't know how many years that I've actually worked, if I'm honest with you, just in general. Before this, I would have taken this off. I would have, like you said, I would have gone lax. We talked a little bit earlier this week where I actually spent one of the days shadowing someone that does pet life and health insurance, if you can believe that. Like, it was just such a fun week, so many different things. And like I said, it was just for the first time in a long time, I had the motivation and the self-discipline to go out and work.
That's cool, bro.
Practice what you preach.
That's cool. Adam, how about you, bro?
Yeah, I mean, just grinding to the last minute. I took the day yesterday because it was my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
With the family, but thanks. But yeah.
Did you get any apps on your birthday? Is a real question.
I didn't get any apps, but I did help a couple clients just via text. It sent a quote to one, and then I was helping somebody else with the health insurance policy. So didn't submit any apps, but it'll come.
Cool, bro. Cool. Well, yeah, one takeaway I guess I could say I had in my week was a lot of agents in our office, man. They were a lot of them were saying, during Christmas time, it's hard, to get apps to get in front of people because Christmas time's around the corner, and I didn't believe that at all. And this week in itself, I did have one of my better weeks that I've had. I've had great weeks, but this is one of my better weeks up and coming till Christmas. So if anyone ever throws out an excuse like, oh, Christmas time's here, people aren't going to be picking up the phones, you aren't going to be able to get in front of people. If you're working your business the right way, people will definitely talk to you, and you'll get the right people to talk to, right? That's honestly one really big takeaway when it comes down to actually working the business in the right way, because a lot of people complain, give excuses. If you're sitting down actually doing it the right way, you'll have very good success.
Joe's calling you out, Alex.
Yeah, what'd you do this week? What'd you do this week?
Yeah, so I did a little over 10,000 this week. So great overall week. I'm at a consistent basis of getting 10 or right over $10,000 a week. So I've been before Christmas coming up, and I'm not giving this excuse. It's been very, very good. Previous, I've been 12 to 15,000 in AP wise as well. So thanks, Joe. I appreciate you, bro. But yes, great weeks. I'm trying to move the ball forward. But yeah, so I think today, guys, we're kind of, as we're waiting for Ashli to get in here, I think we should kind of talk about systems and how important having a system is. I think we all, in one way, shape, or form, use a system in our business, and how crucial and important it is to actually have that in place, because one of the number one things that I've learned and that Cody's kind of hound on is that one of the number one reasons why insurance agents fail is organization.
Absolutely.
You're not organized, right? So kind of going through that today, seeing what it looks like to actually have systems and be organized in this business, because if you're not organized, you're not going to be well in this business, right? Collin, we'll start with you, bro, with what that actually looks like for you in your business so you can help everyone else out.
What my systems and processes look like? Yeah, so me and my two business partners, so I'm partnered with my best friend growing up and then my brother. So we started an agency together. And it was actually this week we sat down with a business coach to actually go over our systems and processes. So we're actually doing a program. It's called EOS. There's a book. I recommend everybody get the book. It's a slow read if you implement it, but I promise you it's going to change your whole business. It's called Traction. When one of you guys are talking, I'll run, go grab it, and
Is
I'll
that
show it. But
traction, like TRA?
yeah, like you're getting traction.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it was really good. Some of the things we went over with this business coach, he asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions going into next year of what we can do. And I think for all of us, if we can ask ourselves these questions of either ourselves or our agency, I think 2024 should shape up to be our biggest year by far. And so it starts off with asking what words best describe, Alexander Sala or, the Invested American Agency. So it was what words best describe your legacy insurance. And so the three of us went down and said everything. What's the greatest strengths of your agency? What's the greatest weaknesses of your agency?
I'm trying to keep up with you.
Yeah. So greatest.
And this is all within the book, correct?
What are the words that best describe? Yep. What are your greatest strengths?
In the agency, right?
Yep, of the agency. What are the greatest weaknesses of your agency? And so you're going together. So Alex with your dad or whoever, Donnie, or, Adam, you're going through and you're writing everything down. And this is how you're going to plan your 2024. What are the issues that most frustrate the agents of your legacy insurance or employees, whatever it is?
Okay.
What are the issues that most frustrate your clients? What are ways to add greater value to your customers?
That's good.
And then what are potential revenue increases for the agency? And so we went through and we, had this coach and he was helping us out. So to give you guys some of our answers, is the issues that probably frustrate our clients is that we overbook at least through open enrollment. And so we run late to some of our appointments. And then, potential revenue increases. We talked about partnering with funeral homes. We talked about, different types of marketing, just some other things. But so at the end of it, we went through and we chose 3 things that we're going to focus on each quarter to make sure that we're, implementing these things. And in the book, it's called rocks. So you write down these rocks. That's what your focus is. And you have a weekly meeting. It's called an L10 meeting, where you go through and you're not asking like, I guess you ask like, okay, where are we at in getting the CRM or where are we at in hitting our goal, whatever it is. There's no excuses in it. It's just, this is where you're at. Did you accomplish it? Yes, no. And if you have everything in the green, awesome. If you have too many in the no, then there's going to be issues, really.
I think that's something that so many people starting out in the business could really utilize. Like, I wish that I had met with a business coach just to like nail out some of the basic stuff, right? Because it's so much harder when you're 6 months in, a year in, to go back and make changes that if you had implemented from the start, how much better off would you be just in like your mindset of how the business should run, right? Because I think that so many new agents come into this, myself included, as like, oh yeah, like I'm running my own business, I can make my own hours, I don't have to like set goals for myself. I'm just going to kind of sell and
there's no accountability.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's, you're not treating it like a business, right? And so I think everything that you just touched on for either an existing business or a brand new agent would be a great thing to get your footing right. So that you get off on the right foot and you're not, having to play catch up later on.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, Adam. I even think up and beyond this too, what you guys are talking about, like having a business coach, right? Obviously you have to invest in a business coach, right?
Yeah.
So,
like it was $1,000, but which isn't a lot of money to some people, is a lot of money to other people.
Most people, right?
Yeah.
And go ahead.
It's definitely worth it. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah. So like when it comes down to investing, a lot of people don't want to invest in themselves. Obviously, as most of us know, 92% of insurance agents fail, but really people just try to hold on to the last dollars they have and they don't want to just go put it back in their business, right? Collin, you actually, because a lot of people also don't have business coach because it rubs their own ego, right? So they don't want to rub their own ego and have that get in the way, right? So you set your ego aside, you invest the money into this business coach. That's what's going to help you propel your business and succeed, right? And I think that's what most insurance agents don't do. For myself and everyone else here speaking, is that you have to just put that last dollar into your business. You really do. I promise you, if you're down to $500 in your bank account, put it back into your business. You will be grateful at the end of it. Put $500 into leads. I promise you, that's the only way you're going to make money, right? It's the only way you're going to make money, because you're not like, for myself, like I had to do that in the beginning, like put money into leads, because I didn't have my referral strategy mastered yet, right? I didn't have my systems in place like we're talking about today, Collin. I didn't have my systems and my organization in place for me to go ahead and not put money in different places, because I'm not perfect yet, right? So in the beginning, you have to invest no matter how much money you have in your bank account, right?
Yeah. And I know I ran into this problem a lot, where it's hard to wrap your mind around putting $1,000 into getting a coach, especially when you're first starting out. But I'm a real world example of going for broke. And there's so many times where I was like, if I would have had that information in front of me from the start and spent that $1,000 on a coach, I would have either saved $1,000 that I put on a credit card or made $1,000 making a sale that I wouldn't have otherwise made.
Yeah.
So I know in the moment it's like, oh, I can't believe I'm going to put $1,000 just for a meeting. But in the long term, I promise you'll either save that or make that because you took that opportunity on yourself.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest hurdles to get over. I know for myself, for sure.
Yeah.
Donnie, I want you to kind of talk about coming onto the Ultimate Agent with the money that you had, with the money that you spent. So people in the audience, because we all know, but I want you to speak for the audience, because this is very, very good, because people are definitely scared to invest in themselves, because you have to, because you don't have the organization systems placed in the beginning of your business.
Yep. So prior to the Ultimate Agent, I had written, a total of 8 life insurance policies, and I had probably a Medicare client base of 10 to 15. So I think I had like 22 clients in total, somewhere around there. And obviously, I had given a lot of time into this business. I'd been putting a lot of money into this business, and I went into Ultimate Agent with around $500 in my bank account. And for anyone who has watched the show, I drive a truck, so a lot of that money went to gas getting to Missouri. And I said, I know I can get to Missouri with this amount of money, and whatever I have left, I'm going to put all on leads, because I know that I'll make that money back spending on leads by closing a sale, by even just one sale. Believe me, I had around $200 left over in my account whenever we got to Ultimate Agent. That's exactly what I put on leads. And you'll see I'm so far on, I believe we're on day 3. We've sent 2 people home.
Day 3, right?
Day 3. And I'm
still
there so far.
Yeah, it was episode 4. Was that day 4? It was day 4.
Day 3.
The first episode was day 1 and 2 combined.
Okay, so I guess day 3.
Yeah, because Charity
we've only had two eliminations.
Yeah, I would say we're under an NDA, so I'm trying not to give away too much. Anything that y'all haven't seen yet.
I didn't get.
I think that was day 3.
Yeah,
I think that was the end of day 3 that we just watched.
Yeah.
Real quick though. So this is the book. This is what it looks like. It's called Traction by Gino Wickman. Okay.
Take a picture
of that. Traction. Get a grip on your business. like I said, it's not like a quick, easy read. It's something that you will like read 5 pages and you're taking 3 pages of notes, and it's like, well, crap, I've got to implement this, and that. And so it's a very hands-on book, but if you implement it, I mean, the guy that the business coach, this is what he uses is based off of this. He has started and sold more than 3 companies for like $250 million. So, and it's all of his things is based off of this. He's like so now he's just a business coach because he's just like, I just help small businesses now. He cut us a deal. He's like, typically I charge $6,000 a day. And, you know,
jeez,
he's helping us out for $1,000, but just because we're, you know, young guys that are
young and hungry.
Yeah. So
hey, I'm a young guy. Send him my information.
Yeah.
No, Adam, you're an old head, bro.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to give a quick
I want to
shout
make.
out.
Go ahead,
One
Alex.
second, I want to give a quick shout out to Medicare Machine Factory, our sponsor.
Yeah.
Great guy, Joshua Youngs. We love him. I forgot to do that in the beginning of the show, so I wanted to get that out there. Also, if you are a Facebook user in the comments, please make sure you let StreamYard view your comments so we can see who's commenting as well. I wanted to jump into real quick here. I haven't got to Adam or Donnie about organization and systems and how you guys do that. So Adam, bro, we can start with you because Collin already answered about your systems and what you have in place.
Well, man, there's so much I could talk about in this regard, but I think where it really comes down to me personally for my organization, I tend to be really scatterbrained, and not in the sense that like I don't get things accomplished, but like I get distracted really easily with things. So I'll be focused on one thing and I'll be mid-task and I'm like, oh, well, this isn't completed over here. Let me go back and do this. And then that takes me down a rabbit hole of, 20 other things. So just from me getting easily distracted, that takes away from being able to stay on top of who needs to be contacted, when they need to be contacted, things like that. And so if I don't follow my calendar to a T, or if I don't update contact information within my CRM, then things don't get done. Right. And I swear there have been thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars that I've lost in sales when I haven't kept up with those systems.
Absolutely.
Just because I'll have a phone call with somebody and either they're interested, but they just need a call back, or, they've said, I can't talk right now, but call me back, next week or something. And if I don't put them down on paper, the sale's lost. Like I don't get them back until the sale. So for me, it's just staying organized and on top of, clientele in that regard. Cause like something that is a really bad habit for me is I keep a bunch of sticky notes on my desk and the sticky notes just get all disorganized and they're all the same color. So like they're just everywhere. And it gets really easy to lose something under another stack or something really important that I've written down and it gets covered up by another piece of paper. And then I see it a week too late. So definitely make sure you have some sort of client management system that you can put notes in, that you can track your clientele. If you want something that's more like sophisticated than just your cell phone, like the system that I use has texting automations, it has email automations, which makes it easy for me for follow-ups. And then, yeah, I mean, my Google Calendar is like, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be in business because it just keeps me organized. So that's really like my main system and process that I use to keep myself afloat.
Calendar is very important. I think most people don't use it. I'll tell you guys something, and then Donnie, we can get to you. For the first year in the business, I'm pushing 2 years now in the insurance business. The first year, right? And the first like 3, 4, 5 months was me actually graduating high school. But my dad always said, hey, Alex, you got to use a calendar. And this was over and over and over again. Hey, Alex, you got to use a calendar. Right? He kept saying it. He probably said it 100 times, and I just brushed it right off my shoulder. Right? But coming into it, so disorganized, didn't know what I was doing, sticky notes all over the place, not even sticky notes. I just had papers laying around everywhere. Appointment this, appointment that. I'm missing appointments now because they're not in my calendar, right? If you're not using the Google Calendar, if you're not organized, you're not going to be successful. That's one of the number one things, right? So that's something he told me. I just brushed it off my shoulder. You have to listen to your mentor, right? For me, that's my dad, right? You have to listen to your mentor and what they have to offer you because they know what they're doing, right? Yeah. They're trying to teach you what they've already done, right? To be successful. You need to listen to them and set your ego aside and actually listen, because I was being egotistical, not listening to them, and it was just one thing after another, and I just kept pushing them off, But sooner or later, that actually caught up with me, and I saw I wasn't being successful. So I was like, okay, I need to hunker back down and actually listen to this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one big takeaway as well.
I think that happens to a lot of new people, is they just come in with this like ego or this preconceived notion that they know things already, or that they want to do it their way. Or it's just like they're prideful, right? So they don't want to feel like they don't know something, or that they're less than somebody else. So when somebody gives them advice, they just kind of brush it off. But if you can really take somebody who's been successful or that's being successful in the business and duplicate what they do, like, you can have the same success that they have.
Yep.
And I think a lot of us struggled with that when we first start out, is like just assuming that, I'm going to do this differently because I think this would work better. But more than likely, the person that's telling you to do it one way has already tried what you're going to go do and fail. And so they're trying to get you to skip those steps to be able to just accelerate that much quicker. So
yes,
be
sir.
coachable.
100%. Donnie, kind of talk about your just kind of what Collin and Adam just talked about.
Yeah, so I had a very interesting start to this industry, where the first 6 months I actually worked under an already established agent who was looking to add the systems and technify his business. So to give a little bit of backstory, my mentor when I first got started in this industry didn't even have a personal Facebook himself. He was still doing paper applications, file cabinet, you name it. Like, he built everything on word of mouth. So he had around 1,500 to 2,000 clients, built a very sizable business, but was very, very old age, was distrust of any kind of technology or software program kind of deal. And he plateaued. He got to a point where he spent the previous 15 years building this business, and 1,500 to 2,000 clients for someone who has been in the business for 15 some odd years might not sound like a great trajectory. And it's because he didn't have these systems in place. It's because he was losing papers. He would lose a file cabinet folder. He would forget about someone that had passed away the previous 5 years and was still calling on. So exactly what they said. I built his business and spent the first 3 weeks at his office taking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of papers and implementing them into a CRM. And I took thousands and thousands of emails, and like Adam said, I automated it for him. So that touch points, the happy holidays, how's your policy going, anything changed, emails all went out automatically instead of him sitting there individually going. And he's since added another 3 agents under him in the last year, and has built another 500 clients, where previous he was only managing his book of business, this last AEP. So I speak less of myself and more of an established agent who has put these systems in place and implement them and has grown his business since, because I'm not at a point yet where I can speak to a lot of the CRM has helped me tremendously. Like Adam said, I had his sticky notes. I had, pages all over the place. So just keeping track of my own business has been a world of difference. But I've seen it also on the other side of someone that has been established for a long time and has seen his business grow since then.
Very, very good point. I'll even say, like, for myself here, it really starts out for myself. Obviously, the CRM, like all of you guys mentioned, that's very, very important. Also, kind of like what Collin was saying, he has all these different questions, right? From the business coach, what words best describe the invested American, for example, right? What agents I can't even read my own handwriting here.
What are agents frustrated about?
Yep. What are agents frustrated about? What are the greatest strengths and weaknesses of an agent, right? Or the agents, right? So I think I've already, and that's a great point you made, Collin. Like, I think I'm already doing that with my dad. Like, me and him mastermind a lot, right? We're not asking those direct questions, but we're always seeing like what can we do to build, right? And I think that's what every individual has to make sure that's done, because that also comes with organization, right? Making sure we're already planning ahead, right? Because obviously we're doing really good right now, right? But what are we doing to actually propel our business and scale even better, right? Because everyone gets so comfortable with, for example, like probably most entrepreneurs, or the most successful entrepreneurs, are probably around the $100,000 to $200,000 range. But like, we got to think bigger and think like, what are we going to get to like the $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000 range, right? And those tips that you had said, if you haven't watched it, Collin named off a bunch of great tips. Go back and watch it. Using those tips, not directly, even if you do use it directly, it's great, but always trying to scale and build forward, right? And plus the CRM, like I said, but even for myself, when it comes to organization, I mentioned this. What was it? One of the episodes we did for the Ultimate Agent. I always said, hey, if you don't have an organization in life, you're not going to have organization in business, right? So what's organization in life mean, right? Getting up in the morning, working out, doing your morning routine, whatever that consists of, right? Mine is getting up in the morning, working out, praying, right? Praying every morning, writing down my goals and what I'm grateful for, right? If I'm not doing these things, right? If I'm just getting up right on my bed and getting in the seat of my chair, right? I didn't really have a morning routine. I just got up and got to work, right? Which is fine for some people, but for myself, I feel like in the mornings is the only time I can actually have time with myself, meaning that, all the girls are home even for college and stuff now. But it's like I just have my own time to think and like think about my thoughts and what I want to achieve for the day, right? So after my workout, just meditating and praying and pretty much what I'm grateful for, right? And I think gratitude ultimately, and Collin, you said this last night on the show, and this stuck with me too. And I've known this. It's just that you put it in very, very good, in a good way. And you were telling Cody, you're like, and Cody was like, what's one takeaway? And you said, man, I'm just grateful.
Absolutely.
That's what you were saying. You're like, the whole team, everybody, I'm just filled with gratitude. And dude, that was so money, because that's the truth. I think gratitude is one of the major milestones of being successful. If you are grateful and you ooze with gratitude for what you're actually grateful for, you will 100% be successful, right? So doing those daily routines, doing whatever you do in the morning, and then putting that back into your business. Because I promise you, if you really have a successful life and an organization in life, you'll have organization in business. Because how you do some things is how you do all things, right?
Absolutely, I agree with that.
That's one really big thing for me as well.
So now a question is let's say, because it's like you said, how you do one thing is how you do all things. Let's say somebody's standards are low. One thing, so Ed Milet, he talks about raising your standards, because somebody could be like thinking like, well, how do I actually change? Like I've been in this same friggin' rut for the last 2 years. How do I get to that next level that I've always wanted to get at? And again, sorry, I sound like freaking Batman, but
you're Batman, bro.
The thing that Ed Milet talks about it is a couple different things. So he talks about doing like a blitz. So going so hard for the next 30 days or however long you want to go, so that your water line is raised. So it's just like, as we've all seen watching the show, all of us have been like, dude, I haven't worked this hard, in a very long time, if not ever. Right.
Yeah.
And, we're all saying, yeah, when I get home, my hard work days are going to look a lot different. Where for me, it used to be like, dude, I made like 30 dials today. Like I did all right. And then it's like, we made freaking 30 dials in 30 seconds freaking on the show. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's do something that raises the water line.
100%.
The other thing is surround yourself with, he explains it like a thermometer and a thermostat. So if you're at an 80 degree in business or fitness or spirituality, whatever it is, find somebody who's 100 or 120 degree and spend time with them, because just in the same vicinity as them, you're going to go from an 80. You might not get to a 120 where they're at, but you're going to go from an 80 to a 97, right?
That's so good.
And so, again, do a blitz of some sort to where you just do something that you've never done before. And then surround yourself with people. And by doing those things, you're going to change your perception of yourself and the things that you can do. Because I promise you, anybody who was on the show had that change of like, okay, I can actually do this. Like we all came in. I hadn't sold a single freaking life insurance policy over the phone. And I get there. Like, honestly, I hadn't sold a lead ever, a final expense lead.
Think about, bro, Collin, think about your first 2 days, bro, on the show, bro.
Yeah. I mean, right in, I can't even remember. It is over 2,500. I can't remember. Anyways.
I think, yeah, something like that. I think that, so the first day or the first 2 days, I had you by $21. We both wrote like 3,500.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the second day, I wrote like 25. And then how much did you write? Or
I was just right. Donnie beat me by like $2. Yeah. And so when I knew that he was number 3, I was like, okay, I'm not getting eliminated.
Yeah. Alex beat me by like $90 too.
Yeah, when he said the amounts, a lot of things shifted in my mind, and I was either more nervous or less nervous whenever I heard everybody's amounts, for sure.
Yeah. And so anyways, but just by doing those things, you can raise your confidence level by doing things you've never done before. And so whether that's in fitness, if it's just like after the Ultimate Agent, I signed up for a triathlon, and I 3 weeks later I was doing it and I didn't train a single time. And so there's just do something that, might sound crazy, but it gives you experience. And then it raises your confidence of just well, shoot, I did something without hardly any training. I can do anything, right? If I actually do train, how good can I be?
Yeah.
That's another good point here. I'll let Adam and Donnie jump in, but I think, and you mentioned this, Collin, I think one of the major things, and you mentioned perception, I think one of the major things also why people aren't, I guess, scaling and growing their business is their perception of themselves, right? Yeah. So they think, man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I can't do that, right? And you're telling yourself this in your mind, right? And if you're saying this out loud and you're telling this within yourself, you're not going to get better at all, right? You have to break out of that and say, hey, I'm going to try to do this, right? You're giving your 100% effort that you're willing to do this, right? And that's what's actually going to help you become successful, is breaking out of your shell, that this persona that you have about yourself. I can't do this. I can't do that, right? Break out of that and just go do it, right? Even if you fail, you fell forward, right? You're not falling backwards. So that's just the major thing, is just get out of this little thing that you have about yourself that you can't do this and that. You can do that, right? If you have the right mentor, do what they're doing, right? Just like what you mentioned before.
Yeah, that's so huge. I think mindset is everything. I think manifestation is everything. You know what I'm saying? Most successful people have some version of a vision board, or they take a journal every day. They write the 10 things they want, the 10 things they have, yada, 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 whatever way you want to phrase it. It's all the same thing, where prayer, speaking to God and asking for this, and this. And that's all within the same realm of having the right attitude. Where a little funny segment in the show yesterday, where I look up at a dreary sky and I say, look at the sunshine, it's beautiful. Where you have to have some of that ignorance and bliss mindset sometimes, because things get hard, things get tough, and it's very easy to let go of that good attitude, and very easy to get sucked into that dark hole that keeps you for the week, 2 weeks, months, years, and then your life passes you by and you're like, I didn't achieve what I want to achieve.
Dude, I have to say something before Adam hops in. Dude, Donnie, when you're walking out, and it just made me happy, because you're just who would want to leave beautiful sunny Missouri, and it's cloudy, it's muddy, it's nasty, but it just goes to show that your outlook on life. I mean, you had a great day that day, right? That was correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I actually won't say that. That's a spoiler. So never mind. I won't say that. But that was your
I had a
best
good
day.
day.
That was your best day to that point, correct?
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
And so it had to be, at least in my vision, it's because your outlook was so good. Like
100%.
Another book, I think I've mentioned it before. It's called The Happiness Advantage.
Ooh.
It's basically on the precedence that a lot of people think that happiness comes after success, but in all reality, there was a Harvard study that success comes because of happiness.
Mm.
And so when
Wow.
you're, and that's why, for those that watched episode 4, I honestly believe that I had a terrible day because I had commission breath. I was stressed, and I was not I even said it on the show. I wasn't my happy self.
Yeah.
And because of that, I didn't sell as much. And so it just goes to show, like, when you're happy, like you were, Donnie, and a lot of you guys were, when you're happy and you're just, my wife was like, Donnie's a vibe, isn't he? And so when you're happy, people can tell that, and people want happiness.
Yeah.
And so if you exude happiness, it doesn't matter what you're selling. Like, you could be selling trash cans. I don't care what you're selling. If you're happiness and it's like, hey, look, like, this is happiness. This is what's making me happy. People are gonna want to be around you, and that's gonna help you recruit as well. Not just sell well to your clients, but it's gonna help you recruit well.
That's true. And to circle back to more of the mindset thing, after we went to 8%,
thank you.
We all hopped on the challenge of doing the 75 hard, which, if you don't know what it is, it's a series of challenges that you have to do every single day, and you have to be consistent with it. If you miss one of the challenges, you have to start back over from day one. So it's 75 days consistent. And I think, how many of us were there that started it? Were there 6 of us?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I think it was 2 of Collin's guys, Collin, and us 4.
Yeah, so there were 6 of us, and I think Donnie and I were the only ones that made it all the way through to day 75.
I failed day 52.
Collin was close. He was.
Collin, I didn't know that, bro. Collin, I did not know that. What happened?
I failed day 52. I was I needed my second workout, and my oldest, my 3-year-old, was not sleeping, and so I laid down in bed with him to, like, finally get him to fall asleep. And when I woke up, it was 3 a.m.
Oh,
so I was just like,
Yikes.
gosh dang it.
Get up and hit the workout, bro.
Well, the rules are is that if you fall asleep, like, I didn't even know I fell asleep, but if you fall asleep, then it's over.
That's
so
the day.
I got day 52, and I was dressed, like, fully in my workout clothes, everything ready to go.
He was ready.
And I was just so tired from waking up at like 5 a.m. to get my first workout in that I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
So
dang.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, whether you started with the outdoor or started with the indoor, trying to get that last workout in at the end of the day, whenever you've done everything the entire day, was always the hardest part for me. 100%.
Yeah. I want to share my results, if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, Adam beast mode, bro. I told him.
I say to answer Aaron as well. Yes, all 4 of us were on the Ultimate Agent. Yes.
We were. Yep.
Look at that. Bam.
So I lost about 20 pounds doing the challenge. If you can see it over there on the right hand side, I don't know if you can. Those are the different challenges that you had to do.
Yeah,
that's so huge.
So
look at the smile, dude. Look at the smile.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell.
You can tell in his face.
It's crazy.
That's
but I will say,
insane.
This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do for such a consistent period of time, right? Because it wasn't that the tasks themselves were inherently difficult, but it was that you had to do them every single day without fail, or you had to start over or give up, right? So 2 45-minute workouts, one had to be outside, a whole freaking gallon of water. I don't drink alcohol, so that was
the hardest part. The gallon of water freaking sucked.
Because you get to like 11 o'clock at night and you're like, crap, I still got to drink, 3 quarts of water.
Yep. I actually gave up smoking during this challenge as well. So we also had to give up.
Freaking
yeah,
awesome.
we also had to give up like either drinking or smoking. We basically had to give up a bad habit throughout the entire 75 days, and I gave up smoking. That got me off the chain. So
yeah,
that's so freaking awesome, dude.
And even just taking a picture too, like you had to track your progress every day. And sometimes it was just like, I've literally several times I had been lying in bed and I was like, and take a picture, and I had to get up and go take a picture.
Yeah.
But just that mental fortitude that it required to do all of those things every single day, it really translated well over into my business to be able to be like, okay, like these are the things that I know that I have to do every single day.
Yep.
So just treat it like the challenge, right? Like if I don't do these things, I'm going to fail in my business, or like I'm not going to make sales, or I'm going to have to start over from day one, right? So just like do the little things. They're not that hard, right? Maybe it's hard to keep up with them, but the task itself isn't that difficult. Picking up the phone and calling a client is not that hard.
Yeah.
It's just that doing it over and over and over and over again every single day. That's what a lot of people slip up on.
You sound like my dad saying that, bro.
I mean, your dad's a smart guy, so
yeah. Shout out Ali Sala.
Aaron, was it difficult competing against friends?
No, I hate all these guys.
I think Adam and Donnie were friends previous.
I would say Adam and I were more acquaintances. We had definitely known each other, but yeah,
we met like one time prior.
Yeah, the great thing is we became friends through this competition. That's what's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and 100%. I think you said it best. Definitely growing a very great bond during the relationship. Like very, 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 or during the
I mean, there were most nights we were there at the studio filming till almost 11 o'clock. And then we would all go back to the hotel, and we come back to my hotel room, and we pop some popcorn. One time we ordered pizza.
That popcorn hit, dude. And we were always. It wasn't like we were teaming up. We were all just like talking about our day.
Yeah.
And we were honestly pretty open. Like we were saying, we weren't talking about what schedules we had for tomorrow, but like we were talking about kind of like what's our game plan? Are we running field? Are we on the phone? It was fun getting to mastermind with you guys, though, I'd have to say. Like it was genuinely fun getting to like connect with you guys after it, kind of like debrief, because we were all freaking stressed out the whole damn show, and get to like throw ideas like, damn, this and that. And then we were talking about some of our agencies, this and that. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
Well, and I think as people will see, I don't know if they'll ever show it, but I think we caught a lot of flack from the coaches because we were friends. They thought that we weren't being competitive.
Yeah.
Well, in all reality, I don't know about the viewers. I compete way harder against my friends 100%. Than I do random people.
Oh, I was trying to demolish these guys.
Yeah.
And
so it's just like, I wanted to beat Alex, Adam, and Donnie.
Yeah.
And, Jarrell and all those guys. Like, I wanted to win because we had become friends. Because when it's in a friend group, if you're the top dog, I mean, you get
to brag, right?
More. Yeah, exactly.
And so much of it too was like, they didn't want us to be sharing numbers or like talking about our production or anything, but like in secret, we would kind of all like group up and be like, "Oh yeah, I've written this many applications," and then we're like, "Oh crap, I gotta catch up!" Like,
yeah.
Well, I thought Donnie was stealing my leads, bro.
Yeah, what the heck, bro?
Well, in all reality, Alex was stealing mine.
That's what I'm saying. He was projecting. That's what he was. He was projecting.
That's what it was.
Stealing no one's leads.
Stole my lead vendor. Just kidding. I gave it to you because you were my friend, and that's okay.
You were his friend.
You were my friend, Alex. Just kidding. But one last thing. It looks like Brian said he's going to be starting.
Shout out.
Starting 75 hard on January 2nd.
January 2. Let's go.
And so shout out to Brian for doing that. I think it would be fun. I've been, pondering about starting again because I failed on day 52 and I want to do it again.
Close.
I think it would be fun, put in the chat for those watching if you would want to, be a part of a group that would start at the first of the year, do 75 hard.
Be 75 syndicate or something like that.
Yeah, the 75 syndicate. It would be awesome because it's more of a mental toughness. I mean, obviously you saw Adam's picture. You're going to get more fit, right? If you're working out an hour and a half a day, drink a gallon, you're not eating crap food. you're going to look a lot better. But it's a mental fortitude challenge. And so, like Adam said, it helped his business propel forward as well. So for those who would want to do it, put into the chat. Maybe we'll get a 75 syndicate going.
That's beast mode, bro. Starting off with a 3-day water fast as well.
Yeah, that's
Heck
tough.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, I'm a practicing Buddhist, Brian. So my longest has been 70 or 76 hours. I've been trying to do a full 7-day, but I don't know about that. 7-day is real hard. I can get to 3 days and be pretty okay. And then I think if I had someone accountable with me, we could probably get to 7 for sure.
Around the 50-day mark, I think, is when I did my water fast. I did it for like a week, and I just did like where I would drink water for like 48 hours, and then you drink for eat for like 2 or 3 hours, and then you fast again with just water for another 48 hours. So I did that for a week, and that's where I lost like 6 or 7 pounds just that 1 week, just from not eating.
Jeez.
That was tough though. That was tough. So kudos to you if you can fast that long, because it's not easy.
I wanted to leave off with one more point here.
Go ahead.
I want to brag on Donnie real quick. So I want you guys to notice on the show in itself, and this is very, very good life lessons for when you get hit with adversity, when bad things happen, right? Donnie had got hit in the mouth multiple times on the show, like not hit in the mouth literally, but the amount of objections he was getting hit with, people hanging up the phone in his face, shutting the door in his face. Donnie, what's the one thing that you managed to still keep? What's one trait that you still managed to keep no matter what happened to you in the show?
My laughter, my love of life, my
positivity,
gratitude for living. You name it, positivity. Like I every day that we wake up, it's a blessing, no matter what happens to you. A phrase that I share with everybody who kind of hits me up after the show is that kind of says the same thing. Is God gives his strongest soldiers the toughest battles. He puts things in your life because he knows you can handle them and get over them. So don't give in and think that, God has abandoned you, or, God is being hard on you. He's giving you these battles because he knows you can handle them.
That's so
good, never lose sight of that.
Yep. No matter what happens, dude, stay positive, just like what Donnie did throughout the whole show. Collin or Adam, any last words? Anything you guys want to leave anybody with?
I just wanted to say wish everybody a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a wonderful holiday.
Yeah, remember the reason for the season. And keep Christ in Christmas. He's awesome. He's helped me in my life.
Amen.
And I'm sure he's helped a lot of you in yours. And so just Merry Christmas. I wish everybody health and prosperity.
Amen. We love you, Brian. We love you, bro. Aaron, I appreciate you tuning in as
well.
Everyone,
thank you, Brian.
Thank you for watching. Shout out Tony and Joe again, guys, dude. They gave us this platform. How long ago would it be now, Adam?
It's probably, it was back in like August. So
we're on week 20.
Episode 20.
Week 20.
We're punching them out, guys. Dude, shout out Joe and Tony. Shout out Medicare Machine Factory. Just the platform of us getting to even network with each other, get guests on the show, interview them. We're definitely going to reschedule Ashli, guys. Sorry that she wasn't able to make it. We'll definitely get her back on. Great freaking episode. If you guys haven't watched The Ultimate Agent, please go back, look at episode 1, 2, and 3, and 4 that just got dropped last night. We will put it in the description here or in the comments so you guys can go watch it. Please go watch it. Great freaking show. Cody and his whole team, we're extremely grateful for them. And then we will see you guys next Friday with probably another special guest. So we'll see you guys then.
Thanks, y'all.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good Friday.